Hey everyone, Christy here with my new process video for week 39. This is a big one, double page layout with an insert. So settle in and get ready to observe some real indecision. So here I have my cards all laid out and I'm working on this card. I knew I wanted to make use of that diagonal, so I got my X-Acto knife out and my cutting mat and ruler and just cut in a little slit so that photo of my daughter in the tulip field could just kind of slide underneath and you could still see the words. So now I'm just going through all my supplies, kind of laying out my embellishments. Usually I do this all in one go, but I found I really struggled this week and just had no idea kind of what direction I was going in. So you see me kind of getting out all my stuff and fiddling around and just kind of laying some things out where I think I want them. I make a lot of changes throughout. So in addition to the insert, I also have that snap flip flat pocket. So you see me inserting some photos into that and just laying it there. And here I am, just kind of moving some stuff around. I can't make up my mind. You see me putting some embellishments on and moving them off, and I do have my insert kind of set up on off screen there, so I am putting some embellishments there as well. I've seen this a lot with the thread and stuff, and so I got this blue thread from Studio Calico a long time ago, and I finally wanted to make some use out of it. So that April wood veneer, it's not even really a wood veneer, is also from the Studio Calico kit. So I just take the thread off, I'm stapling it on. So many catastrophes this week. My tiny attacher ran out of staples, so I edited out the 2 minutes it took me to change the staples. Finally get it attached, and now I am adhering the April wood veneer to the card. A lot of the colors, all of the colors actually, in my layout this week are inspired by this card, and it was perfect because we went to the tulip fields and that card had tulips, so I knew I wanted to use that. My next experiment, and I had an idea for this card from the get-go, is we went on a big road trip. So I knew I wanted to use this card to kind of showcase some numbers and some statistics from our trip. Like how many kilometers we drove and how many nights we were gone and all that kind of stuff. So you see me playing around with this card a ton. That red resin frame is from Freckled Fawn, and I just backed them with some white cardstock so that I would have some space to put the alpha stickers. And then this acetate flower is from Studio Calico as well, and I'm also backing it just with some white cardstock. Played around with this a ton, and I couldn't figure out how I had traced it and how to lay it and all that stuff. So anyway, it's not perfectly lined up. I tried really hard to get it perfectly lined up, but it works out and it looks okay in the end. Just added a flare to the middle, and that card is done for now. I'm hopping up all over the place, cannot make up my mind, and I just at points get so frustrated that I just move on and I'll return to it later. So now we're on this card. Here's another card I really struggled with. Wanted to add some red to bring in the red from the April tulip card there. So I brought out my red doily, cut it, and it didn't work. So I brought out a new red doily, and I'm just kind of playing around. So I cut it and trim it, and forget that I had that slit in there. So then I adhere it all down and line up the slit that I cut in the doily. But then I go to put the photo in and it just looks like garbage because the doily's just like cut off there. So I'm really struggling. Play around, play around. I'm super frustrated at this point. Like, what can I do? I cut the slit in the card, so I know I want to use it like that, but I hate that doily just hanging out there, so I try folding it and bunching it up. Finally just cut it off. and decide to cover it with a little label. So I'll do some journaling on that a little bit later. So I adhere that all down, and finally we're good to go. But like I said, I'm just struggling this week, and I don't know if it's because I have so many photos and the insert, and I'm just kind of overwhelming myself, but this was a big struggle. So I realized that I don't really have any space for my week title and date stamp. So I thought it would be too busy to put on the April flower card on the left hand side, and I knew I was going to have a ton of alphas on that card with the resin frame on the right hand side. So I decided to use some Amy Tangerine alphas. They're kind of a vellum, so they're a little bit see-through. So I decided to attach them to that blue card with the flare. And usually I kind of try to plan this out a little bit better, but I was just kind of going spur of the moment. So you see me like trying to peel it off. It won't peel off. So I'm just at this point, I'm like, forget it. Just move on, Christy. Like everything can't be perfect. So moving on. So that's my title card, and I will do some date stamps on it a little bit later. I like to do it kind of all in one go. I realize that I haven't corner rounded all of my cards, and those two that or the pink card that I'm working on right now is actually a piece of 4x6 paper from a Studio Calico paper pad. I like using those just to kind of back the photos a little bit sometimes. I got a selfie for Christmas. I bought it for myself, and the photos aren't true 4x6, so I do kind of matte more of my cards lately than I have in the past. So I go back to my card there, but I decide it's just going to be too much work, so I try and get some other stuff attached. I'm kind of pressed for time because my daughter's napping. I don't really know like when she'll wake up, so I didn't want to like take on like a huge job with all the alpha stickers. So I'm just attaching some labels. You see me attaching that homemade flare. This is Happy Easter, and it has a bunny in the middle. So there are 3 photos from the Easter weekend included in this spread. So I thought that would be appropriate to include there. And I'm just attaching some other embellishments using a lot of the colors from that April flower card. So again, I always pick like one card that really kind of inspires me, and I go from there with my colors. So you'll see a lot of yellows, reds, blues, and some pinks. And so I just kind of go through my stash of stuff and make piles of those different colors. So just doing a little bit of a cluster there, and off screen I cut out some of the red labels, and I'm just deciding like where to put them. And now I'm getting all my alphas out and ready to conquer and tackle this card. So I did edit out quite a bit of me, taking off the stickers, playing around again, adhering the stickers. So if this is a little bit choppy, I apologize, but you did not want to sit here for 20 minutes watching me play around with these stupid stickers. So I am pretty happy with how it turned out in the end, but it was a lot of work and a lot of finicking and playing around. And you see that I have that Story Lives Here card. That's from Gossamer Blue. I did end up chopping it up a little bit because it just wasn't working. And then in the end, I get rid of the Story Lives Here. So, I start with an idea, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I really wanted to use that title, Story Lives Here, but it just didn't fit. Everything didn't fit. So that's all right. Moving on. So I'm using some stickers here just to write out 3 hotels. We went on a big road trip. So my parents, Nora and I, went on a big road trip from Alberta, where I live, to BC, British Columbia, for a tulip festival. That was our main aim of the trip. And along the way, we saw a lot of my mom's family, stopped and like stayed with them, but we also did a lot of hotel stays. So The pink alphas say 6 cities because we stopped at 6 places along the way, and we stayed in 3 hotels. And my dad was doing the driving, so I asked him how far he thinks we went in total. So he gave me the number 1,850 kilometers. So that's the stickers you see me attaching right now. So quite a distance. My daughter was super well behaved the whole way, no problems. And like I said, we went for this tulip festival. I'm obsessed with tulips, love tulips. They're my favorite flower. And so I just kind of researched it and found, hey, there's this tulip festival and we could drive there. And so approached my parents and said, hey, do you want to come with? And they weren't doing anything, so they came with us. And so the stickers you see me attaching right now say over 1,000,000 tulips. And so there was this huge field of tulips, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of the photos you see, well, there's two photos of the tulip fields. We did so much, and we saw so many people that it was hard to include a lot of the photos. But like I said, there is an insert as well that I will be working on. But at this point, I'm still working on this card and kind of figuring out the configuration, wanting everything to kind of look balanced. So I decided to cut apart that cardstock just to break up the thickers a little bit and fill in the center of the card there. So just adhering everything down, and pretty happy with how that looks. The card in behind is also from the Studio Calico 4x6 paper pack. I've been getting those monthly along with my kit. And like I said, it just kind of gives you some more options, some more 4x6 cards that you know will coordinate with the 4x6 cards that are included in the Project Life kit. So everything's adhered down. I used another homemade flare that I got from a friend that has a tulip on it. And so I'm just adding some more labels here for some journaling that I'm almost ready for. I think I've added most of the embellishments that I want to. So now I'm getting ready to do my date stamping. And so I do this all in one go, just so I don't only have to bring out my stamp pad the one time and make a bit of a mess and that sort of thing. Not the best stamper, so you see me kind of doing test stamps on the side there. So again, I use the Collect app. Not all my photos, but like most of my important photos are in the Collect app just so I can keep track of dates and a little bit of journaling in there. So I'm just going through putting stamps on the labels and on the journal cards. There's your first peek at the insert. All my cards and photos are already in there. So I'm just going through and making sure the correct date is on those. I thought I would take the opportunity right now to just talk a little bit about my supplies and my cards and stuff. I do have a lot of Becky Higgins core kits and that sort of thing, but I find that I use mostly Studio Calico and Gossamer Blue. So all the cards on this spread are Studio Calico, with the exception of 3 Gossamer Blue cards. So the Oh Darling Let's Be Adventurers and the other 3x4 card, the white one on the bottom left hand row, is from Gossamer Blue. And then the top right hand corner card is also from Gossamer Blue. All the other cards you see are from Studio Calico. Various kits, I mixed them all up, so I'm not sure which kit they're from. So now you see I'm working on the insert, just matting that one photo and tucking that away, getting things all straightened out again. And I did do my journaling, but sped through there for you. Decided I wasn't quite done with embellishing, needed to balance out that red doily, so added some red doily just a little bit to this journaling card, and I really liked the way it turned out. Now I wanted to attach the flip flap pocket embellishment, so I decided to go ahead and adhere that down And on the opposite side, there's just a little tag there. It says date. I believe that's from Ellie's studio. So I just add the date in with my pen and a little bit of whereabouts we are. I decided to bring out some washi samples that I have and add some washi to this photo of my dad and my daughter in the swimming pool. So I add some red washi, but decide it needs a little bit of green as well. So bring out that green washi and add that little bit of embellishment. And then this acrylic heart is from a Gossamer Blue kit. I'm huge about balance, and it really, really bothers me when one side has something and the other side doesn't. So I bring out the green washi again and try that. I like the way it looks. I also try it with the red washi, but in the end it just seems too much to me. It takes away too much from the photo. So I take off the red washi and just stick with the green with the label on top, and I like the way that looks. So I jump over to the insert now, just keeping it really simple. So again, with the balance, I have another white acrylic piece here from Gossamer Blue kit. So I adhere that down. Here I am just adding again more doily to that one photo, just to kind of take away from the busy background a little bit, and adding a piece of embellishment. And it says, "What did you say?" Because my daughter's looking at my dad kind of in a weird way. Then I just thought it needed a little bit of blue just to incorporate that. So I took a tag that came in one of the Studio Calico kits and put that underneath. And I plan on adding a few enamel dots later. Just making a little cluster of embellishments, using up a little bit more doily. There's doilies everywhere, but yeah, so kind of playing around with the placement of this heart that says "So Loved," and layering it on another one of those blue Studio Calico tags. So yeah, just put the doily down, and the tag said golden, and I didn't really know when I would ever use that, so I just covered it up with that pink heart. The pink heart is from the Simple Stories I Am ephemera collection that I bought. Now I just found this tiny word phrase sticker sheet that I had in my stash. So I'm just going through and seeing if any of the phrases are applicable to the layout. On that bottom right hand corner card, I chose family photos. And then on that card with them swimming, it says time relaxing, because that's exactly what we were doing after we went to the tulip fields. We had to walk a long way, probably about 5 kilometers, both directions, to the tulip fields. They did have a bus shuttle, but it was like so ridiculously long of a line, so we opted to walk. When we asked how long the walk was, they said 2 kilometers. Yeah, it was not 2 kilometers. So anyway, added a few more sticker phrases, and now I'm doing my last step. I always do this last. Just chose 3 different colors of enamel dots to sprinkle around. I was a little short on the yellow ones, so I thought it was important to put the yellow ones on that card, and then didn't have enough to use on the remaining cards, so I just used the pink and the blue. So yeah, there's really no rhyme or reason to where I'm placing the enamel dots. I just kind of do what I think looks best, and what might look good to me might not look good to you, and that's totally okay with me. I know when I watch videos, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? But everyone has their own style and stuff. So anyways, I'm just finishing up my enamel dots, but I want to say thank you so, so, so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'm kind of addicted to making them now, so there will be more. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, and with the editing and voicing over and stuff like that, it's kind of fun. So I hope you enjoyed watching. There will be some photos of my finished layout to come. Thanks again. Bye.